Let's have a quick look at the totes, and here we are right on time here for Brisbane the next, so we'll stay there with 170 and 120, the favourite being number 6, that's Redcliffe Fella, the horse tipped on top by Robbie. Might pay us to stay with Albion Park before we go over and have a look at Adelaide, because as soon as we jump out of this we might go and have a look at the totes for Adelaide for you for the next. David Fowler's our caller up there in Brisbane, 2,600 metres from the mobile, interesting little affair, 639 the tips from Robbie on top.
Racing over the distance trip of 2,600 metres, the favourite is drawn centre field on the front line. There's the light. They're off and running now, and Redcliffe Fella came out steadily. Stanky didn't want to be part of any early speed battle, and it sees Mr. Mink and French Flair coming out hard, and Lee Street driving through on the inside to almost make a line of 3 as they head to the first corner. Just behind them early Cindy Condor and Assisi's Advance, followed by Secret Formula. Then Van Assick going through on the rail ahead of Regal Royale. Redcliffe Fella, the favourite, was caught 3 wide and third last in the early stages. Life of Riley opting to go to the inside is second last, and the trailer was striking time. Well, visiting Sydney Rainsman Graham Watts made full use of Lee Street's barrier 1. He drove through along the rail and kept them out. He heads down towards the 2-lap mark, the leader. Mr. Mink forced to race without cover. Third on the inside is Cece's Advance. French Flair presently fourth, 1 by 1 outside of Van Assick. And as they drop anchor in front, Stanky sends the long odds-on favourite Redcliffe Fella forward 3 wide. Cindy Condor's midfield on the running line. They're followed then by Secret Formula, who's racing outside of Life of Riley, second last striking time, and Regal Royale was last, 8 lengths off the speed. Now they run inside the 1,800 metres, and Lee Street's the front runner. Now for the moment, John Cremin on Mr. Mink is posting Redcliffe Fella 3 wide, so this favourite is doing it the hard way. They head down the back straight to approach the mile, and the speed is on. Mr. Mink now is keen to find the lead. Cremin urging him forward, and he gets the lead off Lee Street, who surrenders. It's Mr. Mink now the front runner, and Redcliffe Fella is forced to race without cover. The third on the inside was Lee Street. Racing fourth, 1 by 1, French Flair. Fifth on the rail is Cece's Advance. Cindy Condor, midfield on the running line, covering up Van Assick. They're followed further back as they run down the side by Secret Formula. Third last the rail, Life of Riley. Regal Royale was second last, and last of all was Striking Time. Once again, they drop anchor as they run around the 1,200 metre bend, and the lead time was paced in a fast 74.8. They went hard in the early part of the race. They slow now as they run in for the bell, and 31.2 was the first quarter of the last mile. Mr. Mink the leader. Redcliffe Fella, well, he's a tough type, and he'll have to show that tonight because he's doing it the hard way, facing the breeze a length away. Third on the inside, Lee Street. French Flair hasn't spent a penny in the runners. Darryl Graham sends Regal Royale forward 3 wide, passing Cindy Condor the centre, and Assisi's Advance the rail racing 3 back. Then another line of 3, Van Assick on the inside of Secret Formula, and Striking Time coming out 3 wide, latching onto the back of Regal Royale, relegating Life of Riley to the tail. 31.8 the next quarter, half paced in 63. Mr. Mink heads down the back straight, the leader. A half length in front of Redcliffe Fella, and Stanky's about to stoke up the favourite and try and lay down the law to this leader. The sprint goes on again. Lee Street needs a run. French Flair yet to peel. Regal Royale 3 wide. Assisi's Advance needs an out. Hemmed away on the inside of Cindy Condor. Then came Striking Time. Hooking 4 wide from near last Secret Formula. Then came Van Assick and Life of Riley. They went down the back straight in 28.9. Mr. Mink's the leader. Redcliffe Fella slowly but surely is now getting on terms, and then came Lee Street and French Flair coming 3 wide around the bend. Mr. Mink's not going to be any pushover. He straightened narrowly in front, but now Redcliffe Fella looked to have his measure. Lee Street goes back to the rail, then French Flair and Assisi's Advance. The favourite's no good thing. No good thing, he's gone, and Assisi's Advance went whoosh down the outside. Put pay to them and got the money from a photo between Mr. Mink and French Flair, and close up near the inside Van Assick. Then came Redcliffe Fella, who wilted in the last 100 ahead of Lee Street, Cindy Condor, Secret Formula, a gap to Life of Riley, Regal Royale, and last home is Striking Time.
Assisi's Advance getting the money there, number 9. Peter Gregg, the driver, the former Kiwi, coming down the extreme outside. The favourite just folding up 20 or 30 metres off the line. This fellow with a wing on every foot in the middle of the track, out about 5 wide, gets the money here from, well, pretty tight for second and third. Number 3 and number 4 vying for second and third here in Brisbane. In fact, down the middle of the track, you might have to look for the light blue colours, and the light blue colours there may be number 3, which is Mr. Mink, but pretty tight. 4's in there also. French Flair, the light blue colours that we're talking about there, might have just got the knot out in the middle of the track. So it's either 3 or 4. And I think you'll find the Van Assick's finished pretty hard on the in between the two of them as well too. All right, so we'll let the judge split second and third there at Brisbane. 9 definitely the winner though. Graham Morgan is trackside at the moment having a chat with Dan Malecki to, well, his chances a little bit later on in the night in the big one.
Graham Morgan with me. Graham, Naliska with punters, she's a great chance here, about $3.80 mark. She's been a great mare for you. And the draw, is that suitable for her?
Well, you know, she's only had 3 runs, I think, Dan, or 2 or 3 runs here off the pole, and she's led each time. So, yeah, we were happy enough with the draw. She's, you know, her heat win was very good, and a couple of runs before that she had a couple of wins. So, yeah, she's been going nice.
She's been very consistent for you. Even one of her bad runs seems to be a sort of luckless second or third.
Yeah, she's a very consistent mare. She's only had about 35 or 6 starts, and she's always been thereabouts, and she's been the bridesmaids in a lot of the classics as a 2 and 3 and 4-year-old. So, you know, been a very consistent mare.
So you would have been happy with the draw then?
Yeah, I was happy with the draw, yeah.
And you got a new horse in the stable?
Yeah, there's a new one arrived a couple of days ago, so we're naturally enough pleased about that.
The Widow's Might I speak of?
Yeah, that's right. Dan, you know, he arrived a couple of days ago, so, you know, naturally enough, you're happy to get a horse like that. I feel sorry for Pat and Simone to lose a horse like that because I've been in the same position myself, but, you know, if I don't take him, somebody else will, so, you know.
Yeah, that's racing. Graham, we better let you go because everyone else is in the Spider. We better let you go and good luck. This is a $20,000 race.
Thanks very much, Danny.
Graham Morgan, one of the gentlemen in the sport and one of the best trainers we've got in this state most certainly. His charge is Naliska.
Actually, Danny, just having a look there, the boys have really gone flush with their hats, haven't they? The drivers' helmets at the moment. It's a bit of a competition, I think, in the drivers' room. Who can come up with the best hat at the moment? Graham Morgan's is a beauty. And, of course, a little bit later on tonight, when I said the big one of the night, there are 2 big ones tonight. Of course, we've got the Coca-Cola Amatil Cup final, which is this race here we're talking about, and also the Amatil Cup a little bit later on as well. OK, Globe Derby, 60 seconds to the next at 8:50. Now, tips on top here, 11, 1 and 8. And the favourite has come up, number 11, $2.90 and $1.30. That's Little Drummer Boy to win from Jack Rabbit, the pole marker, $5.30, $1.90. And number 8, Self-Supporting at $8.90 and $2.70 is Robbie Auber's third pick. So 11, 1, 8, the numbers for Globe Derby, Adelaide. We're about 60 seconds away from the start. Adam Hamilton joins us now to just have a look in a little bit more detail of race 5 at Moonee Valley shortly. Adam, we had a chat there with Graham as to his thoughts of Naliska. Picking up the Widow's Might through the week too. Yeah, interesting story I read through the week of the sagas that surround well, ownerships in a lot of areas, but good luck for Graham, disappointment for others.
Yeah, certainly it's a good boost for Graham. I think you could see the sincerity in his voice there at the disappointment of the horse leaving Pat Carafa's and Pat and Simone Carafa stables, but the owners, you know, have the right to make the decisions. Obviously there was a few problems, but I think for the betterment of harness racing now, the horse is back in training and on the way back to contesting some Grand Circuit races. He's one of our best horses in Victoria, and we desperately need him racing. I think that was the sad thing out of the whole saga, was the fact that he probably has missed 2 Grand Circuit races, being Tasmania last weekend and the Truro in a couple of weeks, where perhaps otherwise he would have definitely gone round in those. But he's back on deck now, and he'll be one of the stars of the Summer Carnival, I'm sure, Rob.
I'm sure also tonight's Coca-Cola Cup too, Adam, will be a little bit of a guide to a few horses, whether or not they will get taken perhaps to the Tour.
Absolutely, yeah. The big race, race 7, the second leg of the Daily Double, will be a highlight of the night. There's so many Grand Circuit contenders going round in the race, that's for sure. And all eyes will really be on Jack Morris tonight. I spoke briefly to Andrew Peace about half an hour ago, and he said he's not quite back to what he can hope that he might be able to get him back to, Jack Morris, but he is expecting quite a good run tonight, and as you say, that will decide whether he goes up. This next race at Melbourne, as they get close to a start, Duke of Montrose has opened a hot favourite with bookmakers.
All right, here's Globe Derby, so let's go to Jamie Braidwood.
They're racing. Tack BB came out pretty well. Call the Doctor likewise. Jack Rabbit the inside and wider out now, charging forward Star of Athens. Little Drummer Boy from the second row out 4 deep, racing around the outside. Jack Rabbit leads in the early stages. Trevelyan Spirit booting up with All Night. Call the Doctor now easing in behind them. In the centre then Self-Supporting. Instant Embrace went back to the inside, and last of all, Happy Again. Well, on the home turn the first time round, the leader is indeed Jack Rabbit. In the centre is at this stage Tack Tack BB. And here's Star of Athens now motoring forward quickly. Little Drummer Boy still out 3 deep going forward. Trevelyan Spirit on the rail. All Night in the centre then, and then self-supporting. Call the Doctor further back. Happy Again broke at the tail only momentarily. And on the inside, Instant Embrace. Well, heading to the back, the lead time 45.9. Jackrabbit led. Little Drummer Boy now moves up to the breeze and locked up on the rail. Trevelyan Spirit and Star of Athens landed 1 by 1. Self-supporting 3 back on the rail. Tack BB midfield the outside, then Instant Embrace. Call the Doctor back to last. In front of her at this stage All Night, and on the rail Happy Again. Midway between turns down the back, and the pilot Jackrabbit 3 metres in front. Little Drummer Boy travelling second on the outside. Trevelyan Spirit getting a nice run third on the paint. Star of Athens racing fourth, and then came self-supporting further back in the field. They were followed then as they race off the back by Tact BB. Instant Embrace on the inside. Call the Doctor about to come out 3 deep. In front of it All Night, and on the rail Happy Again. The first quarter was covered in only 33.6 on the swing. The leader Jackrabbit. Little Drummer Boy sitting in the breeze, but only 33.6 there for the first quarter. That's not too hard for him. Trevelyan Spirits had a nice run on the rail in the centre. Star of Athens. Call the Doctor now sneaking around them 3 deep. Tack BB comes out. Call the Doctor behind it. Self-supporting on the rail. All Night burrows through in the middle. Instant Embrace on the inside, and last of all out of the straight Happy Again. Going to the back at the 700. The leader Jackrabbit now quickens up. Little Drummer Boy second on the outside. Trevelyan Spirit locked up a metre away wide out. Tack BB. Star of Athens then bailed away in the middle. Call the Doctor 3 deep with a ride home. On the inside self-supporting, and then came All Night, Instant Embrace and Happy Again. Second quarter 31.9 off the back. Little Drummer Boy moves up strongly alongside Little Jackrabbit. Tack BB out 3 deep. Trevelyan Spirit eases one off. Star of Athens has given up. They were followed then by self-supporting. Call the Doctor, Instant Embrace, and then right to the outside All Night up to the turn. Jackrabbit the inside. Little Drummer Boy in the centre. Tack BB is then looming up strongly. Trevelyan Spirit behind them, self-supporting. Instant Embrace, Call the Doctor, and then All Night in the straight. Jackrabbit. Little Drummer Boy the outside. Jackrabbit the inside. Little Drummer Boy wider out. Tack BB. Little Drummer Boy's hit the front, and Little Drummer Boy. A good tough effort. Jackrabbit second. Now third's very, very close. Either self-supporting or Tack BB. Call the Doctor wide out and close up Instant Embrace. Then came further back Trevelyan Spirit, All Night, Happy Again, and last in Star of Athens.
A night at the Trots is a great night for a group function or fundraiser. Social clubs, sporting clubs, a family get-together, or even an intimate dinner for a small group. In fact, for groups from 2 to 800, it's great value. There's a wide range of packages, from exclusive dining boxes to lavish smorgasbords. Call Pat on 9370 4000 for all the details.
Harness racing. Now that is big.
The Harness Card. At last, a card to reward harness fans. For just $60, you'll go harness racing across Victoria to 385 meetings, including all Moonee Valley harness meetings. That's right, no admission price. And harness card holders will also receive attractive rewards throughout the season. To purchase your card, contact Harness Racing Victoria on 9375 4255 or obtain your card at any harness racing club. The Harness Card. It's the card that will harness the future.
Here is the weather forecast. Tomorrow there will be cloud increasing and north to northeast winds freshening during the day, ahead of a late southwesterly change. The maximum will be about 30 degrees. On Monday it'll be mainly fine and 22 degrees. On Tuesday there will be a thundery change later in the day and the maximum will be about 30 degrees. On Wednesday it'll start fining up and the maximum will be 21 degrees. And to conclude, the current city temperature in Melbourne is 17 degrees.
Welcome back. We're just awaiting the numbers to come through for Adelaide with our fingers crossed, because if 11, 1 and 8 do get it, Robbie Orbis picked a trifecta in one with Little Drummer Boy getting up. Game is Ned Kelly, Little Jackrabbit. He's only a tiny little thing too. Looks like he's got second, and 8 and 3 are going to find out the third. If the 8 gets up, Robbie's picked it in one. The next here is the Coca-Cola Amateur Cup final. When we have a look through, we were just talking off air there, Adam, or you did virtually bring to my attention the horse that won this in 1994.
Yeah, it was the Widow's Might, and of course all the dramas that we just spoke about during the week of a change of stables. might be a little bit of an omen bet to have something on number 1 Naliska here. We can see it's opened up well in contention. Naliska, a much travelled mare, now a 5-year-old. She was very, very competitive in good company as a 2 and 3-year-old. Graham Morgan has really got her back to a peak form. It's very important to take note here. A lot of form guides, we did correct it in the Herald Sun, but a lot of form guides have got that winning time at Warragul of 2:08.9. That in fact is 2 minutes 0.9, which is a considerable difference there, and it was a brilliant performance by Naliska to sit outside the leader and run away for a very strong win there at Warragul. So note that is 2 minutes 0.9, not 2:08.9. But the one they're all talking about, Rob, is this, well, absolutely fantastic looking Queensland visitor, Duke of Montrose. I wasn't here on Monday to see him in action, but I did catch a glimpse of him on the TV, and he's got speed to burn. The query with him may be running out a strong 2,380 metres, but he carved out some pretty good times in the middle stages on Monday and still got to the line reasonably strongly. So you would think on his best form he might have a little class edge over these. He did open shorter with bookmakers than he is on the TAB figures at the moment. I put him on top, Duke of Montrose 5, to beat number 1 Naliska, the obvious danger, and the TAB figures show that. And for third, I put in a very promising horse here, number 10, All for One. Got lost at Bendigo, too far back, rattled home late. The previous win at Shepparton when he led throughout in very smart time is exceptional. And next best, I thought, was number 11, Gold Card, who's been very impressive at his 2 runs back from a short spell. But 5, Duke of Montrose on top from 1, Naliska, and for third, number 10, All for One.
Let me tell you, that run at Bendigo, which was won by Simon's Adam, they didn't muck around. So, you know, when you turn around and say the horse got lost at the rear, they ran a sub-50, they ran a sub-60 last half for that class of horse, which is good, and they've run under 2 minutes. So it's been a real good run by Simon's Adam.
Yeah, it certainly was. He's turned the corner a little bit, the horse. We've seen him here lead and knock up on a couple of occasions. Driven from behind at Bendigo, he got to the line very strongly, Simon's Adam, but All for One really caught my eye with a strong finish down the outside. And I really do think he's going to make a name for himself at Moonee Valley, this horse. Obviously best suited when he is drawn to lead. Hasn't got that luxury tonight, whereas the favourite, number 5, Duke of Montrose, all the good judges think this flashy 6-year-old is going to go straight to the front, Rob. Well, you can just see him on screen there at the moment. The colours to keep an eye on will be the red, white, yoke, red stars and the Vibrasan logo, which we are still awaiting here in Victoria for any, well, word or movement in relation to perhaps whether we will see drivers eventually sponsored. Apparently it's been knocked back by the board, and that was a rather surprising move. I know so many drivers have got deals ready just to put their signature on the dotted line to go ahead with that sponsorship. We see not only people throughout Australia, but all the New Zealanders come over and they've got sponsorship. I don't see any real problems with it, and that's something you would hope the board would reconsider here. Well, it might be worthwhile us bringing to the attention of the hierarchy at some stage if we get a chance to talk to them here and find out their reasons why. But no doubt they are wiser men than what we are, I suppose. Absolutely. It seems a rather traditional thing to hold on to, I think, the plain helmets. All right, they're up behind the gate just about here for this one of the features tonight. The Coca-Cola Amateur Cup Final, 2380 metres is the journey. And the horse we were talking about before, you can see on screen there, number 5, Duke of Montrose, tonight driven by Angela Burke, trained by the Burkes up there at Nerang, and has come down here from New South Wales with some huge raps, winning here on Monday at Moonee Valley to take its place in this final. Gold Card, if it had drawn a little bit better, I thought would have shaken the life out of this too, but big odds at $7.70 and $2.10 with the pole marker at $3.50 and $1.50. Here's Brian.
Good line now for race 5. Coca-Cola Amateur Cup Final. The favourite, Duke of Montrose. Big bloke. It normally comes out running. Green lights on, racing. Duke of Montrose out wide. He's starting to put in the big strides. He's about to head them off. Going with him only for a stride or two is Vienna Knight. The top turn comes up and Duke of Montrose pounces on the lead. Naliska back on the inside. 4th and some 10 metres away. Change up. Followed on the inside 15 turn by Amazing Sarnell. A break of 8 metres to on the outside, All for One. Off back on the inside, Chaser Rainbow. Then Gold Card, followed by Brevin Timekeeper. And some 10 metres away, Norton Bow. travelling at the top of the straight. Change Up now pulls out 3 wide. Duke of Montrose the leader. From on the outside, Change Up now into second placing. Here's Gold Card now at the 1900 now, making its move out 3 wide in turn. On the fence is Naliska. Duke of Montrose walking in front. By golly, it's been caught almost napping. Gold Card draws 4 metres in front. Duke of Montrose, the big fella, moves up on the inside. Back in the field, Timekeeper has gone for the gallop, but shaken up now. Duke of Montrose goes through and keeps out Gold Card. Naliska on the rail is third. Fourth on the outside now in turn is Change Up. And a metre back on the inside to Vienna Knight. 5 metres away, Amazing Sarnell. The outside in turn is All for One. Then Chaser Rainbow on the inside of Norton Bow, followed by Brevin. And out the back after galloping is Timekeeper. At the lap and a half mark, the lead time in a 59.1. And again, she's walking in front on Duke of Montrose. All for One on the outside now tackling her. All for One draws 2 metres in front of Duke of Montrose, still driving through. And once again, Duke of Montrose will go through and keep out All for One. 8 metres away. Naliska back on the inside having a good run, followed by Gold Card the outside. 6 metres away, Change Up, followed on the inside in turn by Vienna Knight. 5 metres away back in the field is Norton Bow, followed by Amazing Sarnell Brevin, then Chaser Rainbow, and out the back 100 metres away, Timekeeper. Quarter in a 31.4 now with a round to go. Duke of Montrose the leader. He might be all fired up too. A neck away on the outside is All for One. Naliska, she's had a great run the rail. Gold Card is fourth on the outside, followed by Change Up the running line. It's inside in turn. Here's Vienna Knight, followed by Norton Bow on the outside of Amazing Sarnell. Then Brevin, Chaser Rainbow, and out the back is Timekeeper at the 550. Second quarter 31.5. Duke of Montrose a neck in front of on the outside. All for One racing third, 2 metres away. Naliska going half pace on the rail. Then Gold Card from the rear. Norton Bow pulls to the outside. Change Up comes out ahead of him. Then Vienna Knight, followed by Amazing Sarnell, Chaser Rainbow, Brevin, and tailed off as Timekeeper on the home turn of the 250. Third quarter 29.9. Duke of Montrose a metre in front. All for One is under pressure. Naliska the danger still can't get a run. Gold Card making ground out 3 wide, pulling out now. Change Up under pressure at the 150. Duke of Montrose a metre in front. Gold Card is trying to pick it up. Naliska is trying to get a run in the centre. It's almost got there. Duke of Montrose tackled by Gold Card. Now Naliska's got the run near the line. She's flying. Gold Card tackled by Naliska. Yeah, right on the line. I reckon Naliska a nose to Gold Card. Close up Duke of Montrose third. Then Vienna Knight, followed by Amazing Sarnell. Chaser Rainbow, Change Up. Norton Bow, All for One, Brevin. Out the back, Timekeeper. And what a race.
Certainly, probably the best way to sum it up too, Brian Markovic. It was a race and a half. Well, Angela Burke, when you come down here to Moonee Valley, you can't afford to just get to the front, cruise along and think everything's sweet, because twice she nearly got caught napping. Horse just had enough brilliance to be able to kick up both times, but All for One taking her on. Also, Laurie Wills on Gold Card. I thought for a moment or two Adam was going to get around. Hasn't been a bad run by him. In fact,
fantastic run.
Shut the gate right on Naliska when Naliska really needed the break.
Yep.
But for somehow, Graham Morgan has just angled out and been able to get out and still get up and win the race.
When we were talking off air during the run, have a look at this. Is a replay here. Naliska absolutely bolting, but as you pointed out there, Laurie, a superb drive there just to close the doors, and he really did make Graham Morgan grab hold there for a couple of strides. But once Naliska's seen daylight and pushed through, you can see she's only just put the nose out right on the line, but she has got there, Naliska, to beat Gold Card. A tremendous run. And Duke of Montrose, well, it was a strange performance, because he showed his usual brilliance to lead, but gee, he had to be fired up on those 2 occasions in the run, and it's obviously just taken a little bit of the sting out of his finish. I don't think he was too disappointing.
Was it you who brought up the fact that Duke of Montrose, you were worried about whether he'd get the 2380? Look, I know he won here on Monday over the 2380 at the same time, but it's a little bit different kettle of fish when you're looking at a final.
Oh, absolutely. He's, you know, he's a brilliant horse. We've seen him week after week. Rob Orr has been throwing him in the tips up in Brisbane, and he's got explosive speed. He's best known as a short course pacer, and it was always going to be the slight worry getting over the distance tonight. But by the same token, perhaps if he didn't have to be fired up so much on those 2 occasions in the middle, that was obviously the difference.
Now here we are, have a little bit of a scratch of the nose, Ange, around the corner. This is the first time she gets caught napping. She's looking straight up ahead, and then all of a sudden, here comes Laurie Wills on the Gold Card. I think is the first to take her on.
Yeah, he sees the driver come around.
That's B. Gath there now. Now here comes Gold Card. And you can see her virtually sit up, and then all of a sudden, bingo, she's nearly gone. and Laurie nearly catches a napping.
That would have been the difference between winning and losing for Gold Card. If Laurie had been able to get to the front there, and it was basically, you could see on the screen, a matter of inches only. In fact, I suppose some drivers may have taken the risk and just crossed over in front there. But Laurie, being the gentleman driver, elected not to take any risks, and it could have been the difference between winning and losing. I think Naliska then would have been shuffled 3 back the fence.
Sure.
And we could have seen a different result. But gee, Gold Card, you threw his name up before the race, and he's really flying this campaign. There's going to be some wins in store at Moonee Valley for him.
Yeah, I thought perhaps drawn Adam just a little bit better than that 11. I would have really given him a huge chance tonight, and he hasn't let punters down by much. But, well, Graham Morgan, I don't know how you got that eagle eye opening, but as about 150 off the line, you could just see Laurie Wills come down there, try and shut the gate, and then his horse just drifting out fractionally under pressure. And that was just all the space that Graham Morgan needed to come out and win this. The Coca-Cola Amateur Cup final. 360, 160 for the pole marker. Naliska 2. Congratulations to all concerned. By What's Next, out of a mare called Anelia. Second Gold Card. No disgrace either going down. Got a very unusual driving style, hasn't he, Laurie Wills? Just sits up there quiet, as cool as can be, and really doesn't get flustered or too busy until he really has to. It's got second Gold Card, $1.92 and $1.40 for the favourite Duke of Montrose. 15.20 the Quinella 1 and 11, and the double 12 and 1.97. In fact, it should be a fairly popular trifecta, I think, this one, 1.11 and 5 if you've boxed
the 3 main players on
sure.
the TAB figures for sure. That was the 10th running of the Coca-Cola Amateur Cup, and Graham Morgan, that's his second win in the race. Back in 1992, he trained and drove Supreme Skipper to win in better than 2 minutes. So Supreme Skipper was a very smart horse for Graham for a couple of years there.
Well, he's trackside now with Dan Malecki down. I suppose the first question, the needle eye opening didn't come the first time, but Graham certainly found it about 50 or 60 metres off the line.
Yeah, that he did. I suppose the way the race was run, he was always going to be a chance. Wow, you just got there, mate. I tell you what, the photo took a couple of minutes, and I'm sure pretty nervous minutes for punters and owners and trainers and drivers alike.
It was a bit close for comfort, Dan, but, you know, I didn't think I was going to get a go there for a while. It was fairly tight on the line, but anyhow, we got out and she's finished it off nice.
You must have only just got there right on the line, because the other horse, you know, he kept wanting to give, didn't he? The other horse, even though he worked a bit.
Yeah, he kept tipping in, and, you know, I'd had the cheaper run. He'd done a little bit of work, and I thought if I'd have got a clear go, I was a chance, and the opening come, it was tight, but, you know, we were quite happy.
For a $20,000 race such as this, you got a horse you think's capable. I suppose you've got to try and keep it away from MO races, even though you got the horse. So your training prowess is really to the fore to try and set a horse for this race and then come through with the goods.
Yeah, well, Danny, I've kept her out of the MO simply because I'd like to have won this race. I won it in 1992 with Supreme Skipper, a horse we owned ourselves with the mother and father-in-law. So, you know, it was nice to win it again.
Yeah, I bet it was. No, well done. She's won over, what, $112,000 in stakes, or more than that, probably $118,000. That's not bad.
No, Danny, for an MO mare that's won over the 100,000, there probably wouldn't be many MOs that have got that amount of money. She's been a bridesmaid in a lot of big races, but anyhow, she finally got one.
Yeah, congratulations, mate. I'm sure there's a lot of happy people around for you. Well done. Great training performance. I know we give Graham a big rap all the time. He's a tremendous trainer of horses. The way he gets his horses fit, he prepares them. You know, he does a tremendous job, and you know, to come through and win a good race like that is a credit to his ability in this professional field. The last 3 winners of this race, Rob, have been Nicholas Branagh, Liberty JJ, and the Widow's Might. Now, I would doubt Naliska would get to that sort of class, but already she's won, nearly $120,000. So, you know, to win a MO with that sort of prize bankroll, you wouldn't see that too often.
Very true. Danny, while you've got Graham just there,
yep.
we were talking before, Dan, about hats, and I think Graham's probably got the most picturesque helmet of all the drivers together. I know it costs a fair dollar to get them done. A lot of the boys get them done in America. Just grab him if you can, and just give us a close look at it and find out what the cost of these things are.
Mate, I've just run out of leeway, so if Graham comes back, I'm sure he will, but I'm hooked up here. I know what a fish feels like on the fishing rod.
Yeah.
Graham. Just,
he must have the earplugs in, Dan.
Graham, just over here. They're talking about your helmet. It's quite an artistic job, that.
Yes, Danny, a gentleman from Ballarat done that for me. Rod Hargrave's got it painted here.
We'll just turn it around to the camera, just front on.
Yeah, he's done a very nice job of it, you know.
It's all done with an airbrush, Danny. I just said before, with all due respects to our friend up there in Ballarat, that most of the boys got them done in the States, but I tell you what, that is no disgrace at all. That's brilliant.
That is brilliant. Yeah, you could virtually have that hanging above your mantelpiece, couldn't you, on a picture frame?
Well, congratulate Graham.
I don't know about that, but
not the helmet, but I mean the picture itself. Yeah.
the head that goes in, it's better.
Danny, thanks very much. Congratulate Graham for us. Needed the run when he got it, and that's when it counted. Naliska taking out the Coca-Cola Amador Cup final here at Moonee Valley. Second leg of the Quad Extra and first leg of the Daily Double. Globe Derby, here are the totes for the last race over there. 11, 1 and 3 has got it. We wanted 8, but we got 3, so we got close for the trifecta. 241.50 for the winner, number 11, that's Little Drummer Boy. 160 for Jack Rabbit, and $2 even for number 3, Tact BB. Quinella 760, trifecta 11.13, $51.10. Haven't got a phone account? Here's something for you I want you to be involved in as we go to Albion Park, actually.